with the electric deck here was that Zapdos has an effect that paralyzes enemies, and Jolteon can pass through paralyzed enemies. So let's have a look what they've got here. Pokemon Switch, X attacks and awakening. So there's no hurdle jumps and there's no goal block. That's the two I'm usually looking for, especially the hurdle jump, because it's very helpful for them in early pressure. This Wobbuffet apparently has counter, which is a bit of an odd one. If the battle opponent's attacks above 20, it's knocked out as well. So we'll try and beat that with a Shuppet. That'll be the best thing to do, because Shuppet has a 10 attack. So I'm looking at their figures. There's a lot of 2s, and there's 1-3. This Murkrow. So we don't need to worry too much about early pressure, and they don't have a Shuppet, so I'm not too worried. So what I'd do is usually set up something like this and bring the Shuppet into the middle so we can try and set up the capture like I showed you in the last match. Now I realise I'm going into quite a bit of strategy here rather than how the actual game moves, but I know the tutorial basically covers that. So I'll place the Shuppet in the middle here. Now I realise I'm playing this the same way as I was playing the defensive deck. I could have brought the Shuppet out and been really aggressive. We'll do that in the next match. So I want something that can stand up to this. It's not got strong attacks, but I need something with a gold attack. So I'm going to bring the Jolteon. And I know he doesn't have hurdle jump, so I'm going to move the Jolteon right up next to the Murkrow. If he had a hurdle jump still, I would have probably put the Jolteon over my own goal point to stop him hurdling and adding extra pressure. Now, this Ghastly has the same effect as Shuppet. It can pass through things, and it's got 20 and Destiny Bond. So I'd rather have the Electabuzz die than the Pikachu. So I'm going to bring the Ghastly here. And if the Electabuzz attacks the Ghastly and kills the Ghastly, there's a good chance the Electabuzz will die as well because of Ghastly's effect. There's a good chance just the Ghastly will die, but he'll at least spend a turn killing it. And if he leaves it and ignores it, like he has done, it can pass straight through and block an entry point. So this is a more aggressive play. So whilst I may have set up the Shuppet thing in the middle with the Zapdos and the Pichu, the same structure, if you like, as in the last game where I was playing a defensive deck, I'm being more aggressive in that I'm going for my opponent's entry points with my Pokemon that can pass through theirs or my runners. So he's going for the Jolteon. Hopefully we get gold on purple. No, we just dodged it. That's fine for now. He's basically spent a turn doing that. The other handy thing is, this person looks like they're aware of what I'm trying to do with the Shuppet because they're not bringing the Pikachu or the Electabuzz forward one. So if I realise that they probably know what I'm trying to do with that, I may potentially just push the Zapdos up one, because Zapdos can move any of the legendary birds, in fact, have this Soar ability and they can move through other Pokemon. So if my Zapdos went one forward and he didn't deal with it, I could then slide through and cover the other goal point. So he's knocked out the Pichu. So we need to really think about this. I think I will... So this Pikachu is quite strong, and the Electabuzz is... It's not too strong actually. It's got 50 and 30, which we can manage that. So we just block it with the Pikachu. Now what's unfortunate here is this Ghastly cannot surround Pokemon, and it can't be surrounded, so I can't just move it one space in diagonally to trap the Electabuzz. If it was the Shuppet, I could. And what I might potentially do in this situation is use the switch that I used last game to switch the Shuppet and the Ghastly, because they have very similar functions. I don't have a switch plate in this deck. I put counter attack in. Well, that is not very helpful. Oh, but I can slide the Shuppet round and capture the Electabuzz, as I originally planned. So that's same move I did last game, really, only from a different position. And now we've evened it out, so we don't have the advantage. We're behind on time a bit, but I think because we've got more 3s and a more aggressive deck, we should be fine. This Gabite, you have to be very careful of this. If you attack it, it's going to slide underneath you, or around you, basically. And it can be tricky once it gets on the goal where the Wobbuffet is. But there are ways around it, and you can use that to your advantage to force it to battle you, because if it slides through, it would get captured and things like that. So what I probably do now is move the Shuppet just one place to the left. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to trap this Murkrow, which is now 3 spaces away, because I can move through the Pikachu, so 1, 2, 3, and capture the thing. The chances are he'll probably attack the Shuppet this turn and try and kill it. But I think in this instance it's worth the risk. He doesn't actually. He tries to take out the Jolteon again, which means he's now about to lose that Murkrow, and now he's at a serious disadvantage because he's got 2 Pokemon off the field. I've only got 1, and he hasn't brought his Skarmory onto the field yet, which is quite a strong Pokemon actually. And if we can block his goal entry, if he doesn't choose to bring it on now, we would certainly be trying to block his free goal entry just one place in front of the Shuppet, because then he can't bring it into action. Is he going to attack with the Pikachu? He's debating it. He's debating it, and he's gone for it. So hopefully we survive. Wow, we got very, very lucky then. Very lucky indeed. But it has freed up the Electabuzz. But the main thing here is I'm going to get that goal blocked off. Now I realise the Shuppet probably won't hold. He'll probably kill this Shuppet fairly easily, but it now allows the Jolteon to protect the space, which has a much better chance of doing so. And now we've got this Pikachu and Zapdos free in the middle to start adding pressure. So let's see how we get on here. Sand attack. What does that do? It just puts me in weight, I think. Okay, that's fine, really. We'll just start advancing the Zapdos up the field. Now, I can't do any fancy surround kills with the Ghastly, so it's going to be a bit trickier to get rid of this Wobbuffet, actually. I need to have a think about how to do it. Oh, well, really, I need to do it with the Shuppet. So I could do with my Shuppet surviving, actually. It would be handy to have a Pokemon switch, so I could put something where Shuppet is and get the Shuppet to attack the Wobbuffet. Because I don't have anything else with a move less than 20, and I need to think of another way to kill this. I guess Surround or Shuppet. It has to be Shuppet. I might try and attack it with the Shuppet now with not with an X attack. Yeah, I will. And if it goes wrong, he'll be able to bring another Pokemon out. But I think I have to do this. Otherwise, there's not going to be a really good way to do it. So his smallest move will now turn to a miss. The dodge is now a miss as well. Oh, so I can beat it if he lands on a miss. It's just if he lands on counter, which he's quite likely to. So I probably didn't need to do that Shuppet move. But as it happens, it's not worked out too badly. And he's not blocked his own point. He's just moved the Gabite. So I'm going to block with the Zapdos now for sure, because Zapdos is much more likely to hold that goal entry point than to keep calling it a goal entry point. Zapdos is more likely to hold the entry point. And now if the Jolteon holds up here, we can trap this Gabite, which I'm inclined to do, because even though it will let another Pokemon on, the Zapdos can slide through them unless they block their own entry point, and I'm fine with them blocking their own entry point. And I just want to get rid of the Gabite because he's a tricky Pokemon to deal with. So I think, really his best play is probably, it's probably to bring something on, but he's not actually blocked the goal point, so I'm going to do that still with the Zapdos. And I'm not too worried about him making a counter attack with Skarmory, just because I've still got the Jolteon and Pikachu back here, and I'm pretty sure I'll be running a goal block plate for if things get really bad, and I can just chuck something really good back onto the goal point. And that's a good thing about the goal block plate if you have it. It allows you to be really aggressive if anything goes wrong. If anything goes wrong, you can just, pull it back. You can be a bit extra, more risky. Okay, so now let's bring the Jolteon round this side and start applying pressure. So we've basically got 4 on 2 now, so it should be a win. I've not got a lot of time left, so I'll probably try and do a little bit less talking and just apply as much pressure. Now if we survive this, no, that was a big if. But now, we're free another Pokemon back. We can always, actually, we could try and X attack with the Jolteon, or we could just try and go straight for the kill now with the Jolteon. I think that's what we're going to do, actually. what have I got here? Goal. I've got the goal block, and he's 2 away, so he can't actually get to my base next go. And if it all goes wrong, I can throw the Zapdos back on the goal to protect it. So we're going to just go for the win now. We've not got the time to keep messing around defending. So we just got to dodge. So now this could be a problem if he goes for the win. But he might not know that Ghastly can't surround, so he might be worried that I'm going to surround his Wobbuffet and make a misplay here. But his best play is definitely to go for my goal, which he has done. So I'm going to use the goal block, and I'm actually going to... Oh, I'm concerned Jolteon won't be able to defend it. So I'm going to have to just use the Zapdos, which does let him bring other Pokemon out. But we can get a Pichu there fairly quickly. And he might not block it. He didn't block his goal entry last time. He might just bring a Pokemon onto the field. And he'll probably try and get rid of this Jolteon with it, I would have thought. But we've got a fair chance of killing the Wobbuffet still. And if we do, we get the Ghastly on straight away, so we'll give it another try. No, we dodged again. So we're probably in a bit of trouble now. And if he brings the Electabuzz to the square diagonally in from the goal point, which you can see if I click on it, you can see which squares it can go to. If it goes to that diagonal one in front of his entry point, we're in a bit of trouble because he's going to go for a surround on the Jolteon, so we'll have to probably move the Jolteon then. Yeah, so he has done that. So I actually think the Jolteon can take out the Murkrow pretty easily though, and he's got nothing else waiting on the bench. So, and then it will free up my Shuppet, which I'm kind of would be quite useful right now for surrounding and thinking. Okay, we got real unlucky then. Jolteon's dead. So he's now going to try and re-counter pressure, and I've spent so much time on the clock. I've only got 56 seconds that he's probably got a very strong advantage over us now. But what I might try and do, and it will be a good demonstration, is evolve this Pichu somehow. So if I put an X attack on the Pichu, and I fire him into the Electabuzz, hopefully we can evolve it into the rare Pikachu. Yes, we can. So when you kill something, you get to evolve it if you've got the evolve set up. And I'll show you how to set up evolutions after this game, because I didn't know how to do it when I first started playing, and I've seen that question crop up a few times on the forum. So this Pikachu, now that it's evolved, is actually better than the rare Pikachu if I had just included him in my deck, and I'll show you afterwards why that is. I'm going to actually defend with him, which I know is probably not the best idea right now, because I haven't got long left. In fact, I think I'd go as far as to say that was a misplay, because I can't bring my Shuppet out. So I want to bring the Shuppet up and try and kill the Wobbuffet with the Shuppet. That Ghastly is really not achieving anything actually either. So I'm going to bring the Shuppet here, hope it survives this Pikachu somehow. And I'm actually going to use the Ghastly to pressure the Wobbuffet, because he's got nothing on the bench. I don't need to block this goal now, I need to go for the win. And it's times like that where you need to start switching your play style up. And I think, to be honest with you, that Zapdos can hold off this Skarmory, and I'm pretty sure it can hold off this as well. So I might even bring the Pikachu in for some extra support. If this goes wrong though, we could be in trouble. Excellent, that is good news. So now I'm just going to start as quick as I can, taking my turns as fast as possible now. Start bringing this Pikachu up and try and take out that Pikachu with this one. So you see it's got 3 stars on Thunder Wave, and its gold attack is 60, its attack's 110 and 40. It's had a 10 damage boost, and a 1-star boost than if I had just included it in my deck. And that is why evolving is useful. We got lucky there. Shuppet took out the Pikachu. Now, he can't bring anything else onto the field, and he's only got this Skarmory down here, which I don't think is going to be able to make it back in time to help him. If he moves the Wobbuffet, we've got a 3 MP mover on each goal point, so we can move straight onto his goal and win the match. That's why it's quite good. That's why I like to have Shuppet and Ghastly on them. They don't hold them very well because they're quite weak, but once you've got to this kind of situation where you've taken out a lot of their good players, they can hold better because there's not much fight in them, and they have that potential to slide in. A lot of players like to put the EV evolutions, things like Leafeon and people like that, Flareon, they like to put those. So he's used a Pokemon Switch, which is what I wish I had on this Skarmory. So Pikachu's probably going to be able to beat this Skarmory, so we're going to try and do it now. And I'm not too worried about the Wobbuffet attacking. Yes, we have successfully knocked that out. So unless he has a goal block now, to bring the Wobbuffet back, there's nothing he can really do. We've only got 19 seconds left. Now, I usually, when I'm not waffling on, play quite fast, and it does sometimes lead to mistakes, but I think most of the time it doesn't, and it's worth it for the time pressure. So we just hop our Pikachu onto there. So I will quickly show you guys how to set up evolutions if you have the right figurines.